It's Tuesday, and it's time for questions. And I'm outside, and it's beautiful here in Portland. I had to come outside and share this day with you. And also, you guys can meet Honey, my roommate's dog. Every Tuesday, I come on live to answer questions and give you Ayurvedic answers. Ayurveda is a way of life. It's a way of healing. It's a way of bringing the opportunity for you to heal yourself by learning about the world and how we interact with the world, and kind of bringing ourselves, connecting ourselves back with nature and also each other. You know, we are so separated. We tend to think of the I, the me, and really my journey of Ayurveda and my journey of just stepping into holistic health and holistic healing is about the we and the us. And that's really where I'm taking myself, and that's where I want you to come with me. So really considering connecting to our friends and our family, connecting to ourselves, to heal ourselves, to help our friends and family. And that's always what I'm doing. And again, that's why I'm here, because I want to answer questions you guys have about your health, whether that be something a little more mental, like anxiety and just constant worry or constant fear, or maybe it's a little more physical, digestion, sleep, food intake. So I invited you all to come play a game with me, and it's not, you know, your throw the ball kind of game, but it's a game of trust. And it's a game of trusting yourself. So the first game is dipping into joy. And I take this term from Brene Brown, who is a wonderful scientist. And she speaks about dipping into joy. She speaks about taking the time and taking the opportunity of when you are stressed, when you feel like that hamster wheel is going and going and going and you're stuck on this hamster wheel. Dipping into joy pulls you out of that moment and into gratitude, into it's okay, into calm and into beauty. And that is what we're going to play. We're going to play a game of trust. We're going to play a game of trusting ourselves. This is a game that you can play on your own for the rest of the day, a game that you can play for the rest of the week. And I would like to hear how it goes for you and what happens for you. So if you just joined, we're going to play a game of trust, a game of dipping into joy, and a game of realizing when you're in that moment, when you're on that hamster wheel, when you feel like you can't stop, you're going to think about dipping into gratitude. Think about taking a moment where you are thankful you're here. You are thankful that you can just calm the mind. So again, if you're just joining, we're talking about dipping into joy. And this is a game that we're going to play. And you can consider it a game if you want. You can also consider it the game of life. But it's really a time for you to recognize that it is okay. Everything's going to be fine. There's so many times throughout the day that we let ourselves just kind of drift away, drift into anxiety, drift into worry, drift into how am I going to get this done? When am I going to get this done? And I want you to take the opportunity to play the game of dipping into joy, of just taking that moment to be like, I'm going to dip back into joy right now. I'm not going to let this moment take me away and carry me away. I come on live every Tuesday at noon to answer questions. So if you are watching, ask a question about something you may have been dealing with, something a friend has maybe been dealing with, or a family member, or just pass them my information. I love answering questions, and I pull from the wisdom of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda, again, is a way of living. It's a way of connecting to nature, connecting to ourselves, realizing that everything that we interact with has an energy, and that energy either lifts us or takes away from us. And you have the opportunity to pick and choose. And again, that comes with people. That comes with the foods we eat, the way we sleep, the way we interact with friends, all of these things play into how you feel. And when you feel those moments of extreme anxiety, or maybe it doesn't really get extreme and it kind of just stays there, it's this kind of in the back of your mind, this anxiety, this worry that's always happening, play the game of dipping into joy and see what it feels like and how it works for you, and let me know how it works for you. I'm really, really intrigued on this holistic health and how it happens in your life. Holistic health, let me just start by saying, takes a lot longer than if you were to say go to the doctor and grab a pill and get some medication, which I am not condoning at all. But I also say that if you need it, if your doctor is giving you something and you want to take it, go for it. But there are ways of healing without medication, and it takes a long time. There are ways of healing the digestion without medication. It takes a long time. How many years have you been eating a certain way? How many years have you been continuing to walk down the same path, and then you try something new and you expect change right away, right? It takes a while, and it takes a lot of hard work to pursue something that you want to change. And I think the first step is trust. The first step is trusting yourself that you're worth it, trusting yourself that you can change, make new rituals, new programming for the mind and for the body, because that's what you want. So trust yourself that you are worthy. Trust yourself that what you want is going to be good for you. And then I also think that the next baby step, the next little movement that you need to start implementing in your life is that dipping into joy. Is that moment of taking the mind, taking yourself out of the you and into the idea of a communal energy. So you're working, you're going, you're doing, you're stressed, it can't change, nothing's going to work out. Take that moment, dip into joy, tiny step. And maybe you don't even think about it the first 5 times. You forget about this video, you go along, and you're doing all the things that you're doing, right? And then all of a sudden, one day, you remember. And that's amazing. And the next time you do it, those 2 weeks turn, before you remember to dip into joy, example, 2 weeks, those 2 weeks become 1 week. That 1 week becomes a few days. And then you're going to get in the rhythm of doing that exactly the same time that it's happening, meaning you feel that energy, you feel that intense, anxious feeling or worry, and right then and there, you're able to stop, you're able to come back into the full energy that surrounds you, and you're able to dip into that. So that's really my spiel for today. I've had no questions, but feel free at any time to ask me questions. You can text me, or not text me, but instant message me, write me, just connect. I really do feel passionate about helping my friends, my family, your friends, your family. Again, holistic health takes longer, but it's so strong. You see the results, you feel the results. And if you're just joining, we're talking about dipping into joy, and we're talking about questions that you want to ask. I feel so passionate about helping you guys and just peeking into what movement you can create in your life for better change, for better health. And I'm so all about giving that to you, giving you the tools so you can make the change. Seeing the qualities in the world around us that allow you to make that change. I can go into more in depth about what Ayurveda is. I will be doing so. I'm going to be having, it was a 7-day challenge, but it's going to be a 5-day challenge, and the weekends will just kind of be for those of you who really want to push yourself. But keep an eye out for this challenge that's coming up. I'm going to be setting a date really soon. It's going to be about rituals, creating routines in your life because that's really what's going to create the change. Is new patterns, new rituals that are going to carry you into where you want to be. Again, trust yourself that you believe that you can attain that you are worthy of that. Oh yeah, I got a question. Great. How do you dip into joy when you aren't feeling joyful? What are some tools you can use within the Ayurvedic structure? Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Abby. Okay, this is one of the all-time sayings, fake it till you make it kind of thing. And I'm not saying that this should be what you do every time. But if you just simply put a smile on your face, and these aren't exactly Ayurvedic structures, these are really a lot of mindfulness techniques, but take that time to really dip deep into where you have a happy memory. Put that smile on your face and fucking wear that smile until you feel it. It is there. You have to trust yourself that it is there. You will find it, Abby. You will find it. I would love to speak with you more on a personal level about this. If that's something you're interested in, you can always reach out to me. Hey, Mariah, no worries. Again, I'll come back to Abby's question, which was, how do you dip into joy when you just can't feel it? And I want to add to that, you just can't feel it yet. Yeah, so Mariah is saying when you smile, it makes the brain release happy chemicals. Totally true. So this idea of kind of like fake it till you make it, put a smile on your face and really feel what that feels like. I talk a lot about having an emotion and then feeling where that emotion resides in your body. So taking almost the idea, taking away from I don't have joy to where do I feel energy? When I smile and I close my eyes and I'm just smiling, I feel like this immense, the muscles in my face, and I'm literally just feeling it. And right there, it takes me away from the idea that I have to feel a certain emotion, and it brings it back into my body. And then how much do you love yourself? Where can we work on self-love? Where can that energy come from within? And there may be layers and layers of hard, rough scales that you have to kind of break through, reach through, rip through until you feel that joy. And that's where you start to not have to exactly fake it, but you really start to feel it. And I love what you said, Mariah, when you do smile, that just releases. And maybe that makes you laugh, Abby. Maybe that makes you kind of feel like, why am I even doing this? This feels stupid. And then maybe you kind of just laugh it off. And then you're laughing. And then you find that joy. And then you dip into that joy. There's, within the Ayurvedic system, Ayurveda is a way of life. It's a way of connecting to the self. So how can we connect to the self? How can we reach down into the layers like an onion? How can we peel those layers away? And it goes right back to, what I was previously saying, is that holistic health takes time. Maybe the first time you dip into joy, you don't feel it. And maybe the second time you're searching for it still. But come away from possibly the emotional aspect and come into the physical. Where are you feeling that? And maybe when you dip into joy, it takes you to pain. But is pain a place where you can grow from? Yeah, it is. We all have had so much life experience. We all have been through our own personal challenges, and we cover up. We use those events in our life to cover up pain, hurt, sorrow, confusion, and we have to break through that. And sometimes joy is not the first thing you feel, but it's an act of practice, and it's a physical act of doing and going and persevering and continuing. Because when you stop, change is not being made. And I'm not saying you have to take these big strides that you feel like, how am I even going to reach joy if that feels so far away from you? Take very small steps, which does align with, Ayurveda. It does align with this way of life of healing, these tiny steps that you can take, which is just think about it. Maybe just simply thinking about dipping into joy, or if I could feel joy, this is when I would dip into it. And maybe how does that feel? Beautiful question. I love that. Thank you so, so much. Does anyone have any other questions? If you are viewing or if you're viewing this at a later time, type in a question, private message me. I believe we all should be able to heal, and we all have the time to do it. We just need to find it. So Abby says, I've found that having a daily mantra helps to shift and keep me returning to myself, or where I really want to be. And often the mantra is about surrounding the things I feel upset about, or bringing the things in that I want in the moment. That's beautiful. Mantras are something that I use every day, almost every day. There are days that I miss a meditation, but I do use mantras. They're there to pull you in, just like dipping into joy is. So if that's what you have, that's you're dipping into joy, and that's wonderful. Returning to yourself. I think that's a great way of putting it. It's dipping just back into yourself, back to the layers that you're working through. And the deeper you can go, the better. The deeper you can truly understand yourself and learn to understand yourself. That was my roommate. Is going to be the best. It's going to be where you learn and where you grow from. And often the mantra is about surrounding the things I feel upset about. Yeah. Bringing into your life what you want in the moment. That is really what today was all about. I came in talking about playing a game of trust, playing the game of dipping into joy, and trusting when you can do that, which is any time. There's never not a time to trust yourself, to listen to the really subtle levels, subtle messages that your body is reaching out to you about, which is so in line with Ayurveda. Ayurveda really asks us to listen, to be in the moment all the time, which is really, really hard, you guys. It's challenging for myself. It's challenging for everyone I know and everyone that I've met. That is the goal, right? That is the goal. We are here on this earth to understand ourselves, to give ourselves love, empathy, and to then turn around and give that to the world. Thank you, Abby, so much for commenting. It's people like you that, I get so excited about to come on Tuesdays, to really speak about. So I'm going to head off, and again, I'll be putting up more information about my 5-day challenge. And it's going to be about this. It's going to be about the rituals, about dipping into joy, and about really being in the moment with yourself. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys next Tuesday at noon. Mwah.